Okay, we're very excited about this new Google local guides. We're going to give you information on where we are running into this. This is what Google is going to be pushing large in 2016. A quick overview again is that what it's doing is it's incentivizing consumers to do things on Google, such as post Google reviews. Okay, and as you acquire points, you can use those points for things such as Google storage, like in the cloud, Google storage. I've read things where they're going to be coming out with this soon, where you can use the points towards buying music through the Google Music application. You'll be able to use it for movies and so forth. Here they show what some of the points are. Now, when you scroll down on this page, you'll see it. And this just kind of tells you all about it. But the thing that we're most excited about, obviously, is this one right here, where you can earn points by posting reviews and then sharing those reviews. So if a business didn't have enough reason to want positive Google reviews before, now more than ever they need to, because now more than ever consumers are going to be posting reviews. So if your consumer does not have a program like ours, then that means they're really going to get more negative reviews, right? Because now more people are going to be posting a review. They need to make sure they're controlling as many positive reviews as they can. Otherwise, it's a crapshoot whether they get positive or negatives. The people that are angry are going to have an easier ability to post negative reviews. Again, that's why we want to steer all the positive reviews there. Okay, now that I've reviewed the local guides website, let's talk a little bit about more about what it is. I mean, what does this really mean? Well, as you know, when Google Plus came out years and years ago, that was Google's first attempt to get in the world of social networking. And when it first came out, the idea was it was going to be an alternative to Facebook. However, that didn't work. Although there was a lot of people that got a Google Plus page, nobody was using it like they're using Facebook. So then Google started using that for businesses and said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Plus to make sure that every business has a Google Plus page so that there can be networking through businesses. And that didn't work either, again, just for a bunch of different reasons. So now they have, and as you know, Google Plus is no more. You can still go there, but most people if you've updated your system, it'll just be a blank page with the business name on there. Now all Google reviews are done through Google Maps. That's the place where you're leaving reviews. And those reviews show up when you're searching anything regular in your regular search. It shows the reviews, but it also shows the location. Again, that's Google's attempt to get more and more involved in actual local marketing, right? So what is local guides? I mean, what does it really mean? Well, local guides is, number one, that the reason we're most concerned, like I said in the other video, is that they've started incentivizing their consumers to leave reviews, right? But what does that mean exactly? Like, who cares if they're incentivizing? How are we going to make sure that people are actually signing up for local guides? Well, local guides program is similar to meetup.com and Yelp, and it's their new networking concept that combines the best of several other programs and makes it easily available for hundreds of millions of users worldwide. So if you guys are familiar with meetup.com, if you're not, go check it out. But what meetup.com is any person in any area and near any city, they may teach something. Maybe they teach piano, or like for me, I've gone to meditation classes and different yoga classes. But it's people that want to get a group of people together to do like-minded stuff. Like, there's a lot of meetup groups for its social things. There's bar hopping meetup groups. There is Christian meetup groups, et cetera, et cetera. But anyone can start their own group, and they advertise on meetup.com, because people that are looking for things to do in their area, that's where they go. And of course, there's Yelp, which you guys know. Yelp is not just a review site. It's a place where people go, where the people that use Yelp, again, which is a small percentage as opposed to Google, but still, the people that use Yelp use it religiously. They go there and they feel like they are a restaurant critic or a movie critic or whatever when they're giving their opinions. And that's part of their fun of their social life. They like to go out to a restaurant and then go to Yelp and give their opinion. Other than that, the reason people go to Yelp is when they've had bad service. Like, hey, I've had a terrible service. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to Yelp if it's a restaurant. If it's any other business, obviously they're going to Google. But what this local guides is it's combining all those things. It's combining meetup.com, it's combining Yelp, and it sort of has a little bit of that flavor of Foursquare from a long time ago. So, what they're doing is several things. Like I said, number one, the reason we're concerned about it is because when you join local guides, you can actually you can accumulate points for doing a bunch of things, which I'll go over in a second. But the main reason that people will be using local guides is to explore in different areas that they're in. So if you're new to a town, you're going to go to local guides and find out, what are all the restaurants around you. By the way, you're going to read the reviews there. You're also going to see if there's any meetup groups, maybe a walking tour of the town that you're in, or maybe there's if you're in Colorado, maybe there's a rock climbing group or a bicycling group, a group of people that get together on Sundays and ride their bike, whatever. So it's going to be a place where you can go and you share the world on Google Maps. So you can share, it's not just the maps, but it shows you everything that's going on in that town. So kind of imagine, and again, I keep using meetup.com, but there's also in any given town that you're in, you probably have some sort of magazine that tells you what's going on every weekend. Well, this will be able to do something similar. But it's all reliant on us, the consumers. So that's where it's more of a social network. It's saying, hey, world, go to local guides and tell me what your area is like. Tell me how your restaurants are. Tell me how your auto mechanic is. Tell me how your roofer is. Give me your experiences of your life so that another consumer can get shortcuts on whatever they're looking for, whether it be fun or whatever. And then the other aspect of it is there will be people that build businesses around here, around this app, just like there are on meetup.com. On meetup.com, there'll be somebody that says, hey, come to our yoga meeting. We have every Wednesday night, and it's free, and we'll teach you yoga. But in that class, they're like, well, if you like this, we also provide private lessons, and they're X amount of dollars. So local guides will be able to do the same thing. In this example, it's a walking tour of San Francisco. So maybe you go to San Francisco, you're there on vacation, you look in your local guides and you see that there's a free walking tour every day from noon to 1. Now during that walking tour, what that's going to be donating his time or her time, they're probably going to sell something ancillary. Like, okay, if you love this walking tour, by the way, I can give you a picture. We take pictures of your groups, or maybe that guy gets paid by local restaurants or other local tourist places to kind of pitch their product. So while the guy's on the walking tour of San Francisco, he can point out and say, hey, here's this great steak restaurant, or, here's this great bar, or, here's where a specific church is located or whatever. So hopefully you get the idea. Now what they're also doing, because again, this is a new social environment, they need to build it. They need people to go on there and start building it. So obviously Google will have some advertising. There'll be a lot of online presence. A lot of you may have already received emails telling you about this. And then the local guide's choice is already available from your drop-down menu in your Google account. Specifically, if you go to Google Maps and you click your drop-down on your icon for your actual account, it'll say local guides, then it'll say join local guides. But you'll have your own page where you'll see what your points are. And as you accumulate the points, you can use those points to purchase different things, which we'll go over again in a second. But you'll get points for doing things like sharing pictures. You'll get points for giving people better directions for a location. You'll give points for just leaving basic reviews on whatever business. You'll also Get points for if you make a suggestion, like if there is a location that has the wrong address, like maybe a business has moved and you go in there and say, hey, this business has moved, this is the new address. You acquire points doing that. There'll probably be a lot of other things that they add up, but in your local guides account, you'll also have your own calendar where you can set up your own meetings. So just like meetup.com, you can have your calendar and say, okay, well, I'm going to try this hangout for moderator training on the 13th. I'm also going to maybe there's another one that's a walking tour or a yoga meeting or a church group on Sunday. So you can track all your different things that you are doing within local guides. And here's kind of the different levels. And again, because this is new, there's some things that are not included in here that I have read about other places that they will in fact be adding. But when you go to the website, you can go over this in more detail and just kind of explore it. But for each level, as you acquire points, you'll be able to do other things. For example, on level 2, you get early access to new Google products and features, which, by the way, is great for you guys. As marketers, you're going to want to make sure that you do that. Local 3 is connect with local guides and exclusive Google Plus communities, which is basically in the local guides. What they're saying too is before you can just go in there and start building a community or building a meet and greet or whatever it is that you want to add to local guides, they're going to make sure that you actually use the program first. So you have to acquire X amount of points before you can put in there that you have a free a hypnosis on stop smoking, once a month or something like that. Level 4, upgrade to your Google Drive, storage free. Again, this is the one thing that they're showing you now that you can get free is you can build points and you can cash those points in to get additional free storage in Google Drive. But I've also heard along in level 4s and in level 5s, you'll be able to use those points and actually purchase music through the Google, I don't even know what it's called, but also through the Chromecast, you'll be able to buy movies and so forth. That is not printed in here yet. However, I have read that everywhere. What they're doing is being a little bit vague on that and just saying you'll be able to use the points to purchase other Google products. So just think about any other Google product that they're selling. You'll be able to use those points on that. I would imagine, and again, this is a guess, but I would imagine at some point you'll even be able to cash those points in for pay-per-clicks or for marketing. Again, you'll be able to use it across all the different Google products. So we're really in the beginning of this. So where it goes from here, I don't know, but I like it. I will be using this for other things than just as a business thing. I will personally be using this when I travel to find out what's going on in that town. I think that there's a lot of other people like me that will be doing the same thing. But again, this just goes over what I went over before, which is get points for uploading pictures. You're going to get points for sharing reviews, which obviously is the part we're concerned about. You're going to get points for adding new places. If there's a place that's like the example here, Sam's Cookies, maybe it's not on the map, maybe it's not listed. You as a Google user can add it to there. I would still imagine that the business will get some kind of notification that they've been added, and they will probably still have to verify their location. Otherwise, people could put false information on there. But at any rate, for adding new places, for fixing information, you can acquire points. For answering questions. So let's say that there's you're new in a town and you want to find a movie theater that also serves dinner. One of those really nice movie theaters where they have table service and they serve drinks and dinner to your table while you watch the movies. You could put in a question like that and find out answers on it. Or if you're curious about a restaurant, if it's any good or whatever, you'll be able to post those questions and then get basically surveyed answers from the social network. So that's how it is. I'm excited about it, and again, it will morph into a lot of things, but just from the beginning of how it looks here, this is big for us. If there wasn't enough reasons for a business to know the importance of Google reviews, now more than ever it's important because, again, it adds the words reviews to this zeitgeist again.